Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Cloud, everybody. I'm your host, Faze Crypto. Very excited to be talking about Electroneum. And of course, in recent news and developments, we've been hearing a lot of talk about the deals that could be behind the scenes. Richard Ells basically talking to the community and spreading out that sort of excitement that could really be interest. Of course, HitBTC right in the wake of all these things, even though we're sitting in this sort of shitty market where things currently stand. Bitcoin dominance 54.0, slightly up from yesterday. Also in this video, we're going to be talking about Google Trends and how this is also playing a huge dynamic, looking at all the different performers, and the fact that Bitcoin search is actually up as things continue. So I think, relatively speaking, to start off the video, it would be interesting to talk about buyer psychology and market psychology, and essentially how the mentality of the people who are driving these things forward is ultimately playing an intrinsic role. I think that the community wants cryptocurrency. I think that all the points and all basically the information is saying that the people are ready for cryptocurrency to take off. As a person who runs this YouTube channel and all these different cryptocurrency communities, I think people are generally disheartened when they see this sort of downward spikes of these things, because people want to see cryptocurrency and these new technologies being accepted by the greater proportion of the complex, and all these different bad actors leaving the scene, and all these ICOs, and bringing all this shit to the light. I think is actually good at this point. It's sort of a critical juncture, almost the forest fire aspect of it, where we need a sort of a correction in a large sense of the mentality that people developed when Bitcoin and all these things were at their all-time highs. Was sort of unrealistic, I would definitely say, when we were seeing the $20,000 Bitcoin last year. Not to say that the $20,000 Bitcoin's completely out of the question. Now, I'm not going to break your heart there, but I'm also not going to try and give you some false hope. The fact that we might see $20,000 Bitcoin again, I'd say most likely we probably will see the $20,000 Bitcoin, but whether that's going to be in 1 year or 2 years, that all still remains to be seen. Now, the point of this video, I think, is Electroneum is definitely worth our attention right now. Critically, we are actually seeing Electroneum with some massive potential, I would say, as far as the way that they've essentially positioned themselves in terms of mobile mining. I think that there's a lot to be said. In particular, we talk about how expensive it's actually getting mining Bitcoin, and a lot of these different mining operations have been running into some significant problems, haven't actually been able to profit, and then also a lot of these different mining operations that were set up during the all-time highs of Bitcoin, people who thought that the good times would last forever and we wouldn't actually go through what we're going through right now, which is sort of this what you would call, for lack of a better term, a crypto dark age, which this happens from time to time. And I think those of us who've been involved with cryptocurrency for any amount of years, in particular people who've been paying attention to this space since like 2009, hey, we are still doing fairly significantly. With $140 billion market cap and all the volatility that we see, I think cryptocurrency definitely has a lot of attention surrounding it, but all this attention is, you could think there's no such thing as bad publicity, but then again, in the world of cryptocurrency, we have to really work through just it's a complete smokescreen. But then again, I think that people do take it for granted the amount of movement, all the progress moving forward that we've seen happening so far, in particular since like March of 2017. It's a completely different world, and those of us who were paying attention to Bitcoin, and for instance in like 2016 and all these different times back when the market cap was around that 11,687.6, that's crazy. If the market cap even went from but just imagine that. The fact of the matter is that we went from in March there was the $24 billion market cap, and then today we're looking at the $140 billion. So when people are talking about like, oh, backtrack and all these different things, I think that people fail to take into a grain of salt. Crypto has given so many people so many great things, I would say. For people who who were basically taking profits in January of 2018. I think people are quick to criticize crypto for their short-term losses, and people aren't disciplined enough to basically stick around and have the balls to essentially do your research and align yourself with the technologies. But I think as far as Mobil is concerned, Electroneum is definitely positioning themselves in a really key strategic way. I think Electroneum definitely does have a sense of what Mobil actually is going to mean for cryptocurrency as things move forward, and I think that that's actually a very critical thing as for terms of reputation and all these different terms when we look at what Electroneum is actually bringing forward to the table. And the groundwork is being laid as we speak with people all around the world. The popularization of this basically computing technology that everybody has in their back pocket, I think that the potential speaks for itself in that notion. It's almost getting to the point where just not even interested in going on CoinMarketCap and checking out how far we've fallen today. Always seeming like we're in the red. It's pretty much just a joke at this point. I think people are pretty much getting wise to the manipulation, getting wise to the fact of the matter is that there are a lot of outside influences in the space. It's pretty clear that there's a lot of manipulation. In particular, I think we saw a large amount of manipulation starting up in 2000 and like the beginning of 2018 is dramatically more manipulation than we were seeing in like 2017. But I think that as time goes forward, we'll see these things getting ironed out. Obviously, when we have this type of volatility, there's a positive and a negative side. I mean, obviously, it's not the most comfortable situation for people who are attempting to have sort of the hodl mentality. Now that sort of way of thinking it is sort of has its place, and definitely in other markets that we've seen, it's a strategy that's successful and to a large degree. And I've spoken with people who still use certain strategies that are basically akin and share general principles along that same similar line. But I think that it's a lot to be said. There are always cryptos, even in this market, that are seeing gains. So I think that realistically, when you talk about people looking at the technology and looking beyond the essentially all the hype and trying to look at the data analytical side, like what are these things actually doing in the real world? So the winners, the 24-hour in the green for at least the time of recording this video, we see at Nexo, Bitcoin Diamond. We talked about Bitcoin Diamond quite a bit on this channel, and I think that there are plenty of people who will take credit for making that prediction about Bitcoin Diamond and the potential that could be happening right around the corner involving it. And I think it's worthy of a video. We'll probably be making a video talking about Bitcoin Diamond near in the future, and of course Theta token showing up. And in particular, I think that it's always interesting to see the technologies that manage to have that are in the green, in particular in the certain type of circumstances that we see with the current market especially. So something like Electroneum now standing below a penny, which obviously is a lot of criticism being pointed in Electroneum's way. I don't think that basically there's a mentality about cryptocurrencies that I personally don't believe in, but it's worth mentioning. When a crypto that's worth over a penny drops below a penny, there's a certain type of psychological, you could call it. So all in all, I'm pretty excited about what Electroneum brings forward to the table. I think right now people who have are panicking and all these different things, I think it's getting old. I'm over that. I'm over panicking. I don't really really care. Anybody who's had enough time in the cryptocurrency space to take your profits has already done so, and the people who are going to continue to get bulldozed over aren't ever going to come to their senses. So I think all the variables of the universe are in alignment, and I think that it's just time for those of us who carpe diem, sort of seize the day or not. It's all up to you. But anyways, now I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Obviously remember, this isn't advice or anything like that. This video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. And of course, make sure that you guys connect with us on Snapchat, and also in the spirit of the interest of sharing different opinions, I'm actually going to be including a link to this video right here. Now this Electroneum breaking news HitBTC listing analysis, which we pretty much covered and talked about a lot in this video, but I think that it's always interesting to share different perspectives and stuff. So you can find the link to this video by Sean Davis down in the description. And yeah, it's awesome to see how much this channel has actually been growing in such a short amount of time. Now I'd just like to thank everybody. We've actually changed the profile image of to my Snapchat face right here. So if anybody wants to connect with us on Snapchat, always interested in hearing, and of course comment down below, let us know what you guys think. We've recently reached 23,000 subscribers, so I mean, if you guys are want to help support the channel, you could obviously subscribe and help us reach obviously I can't subscribe to myself, but who would want to, yeah, I mean, I have enough time making these videos. I don't need to watch them as much as you guys might be interested. But all that being said, I'm definitely a fan of Electroneum. I'm interested in seeing how a lot of different cryptocurrencies are going to be taking us forward into the future. But I'm definitely excited. I think Electroneum's in a key strategic position when it comes to mobile, and I think mobile is a really big next final frontier, so to speak, in the world of crypto. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. In the words of Gary Vaynerchuk, cryptocurrency is the future. Blockchain and all these different things, it's the future. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.